بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده تبارك وتعالى ونصلي على جميع أنبيائه ورسله ونستفتح بالذي هو خير. سبحانك ربنا لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. نعوذ بك اللهم من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا، من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم عليه وعلى آله وصحبه. أما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us sincere, to accept from us and to grant us beneficial knowledge, to increase our iman and our practice, and to make us guided by the Quran and protected by the Quran in this life and the hereafter. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to inculcate in us all the knowledge that is in His book, and enable us also to share it. Today we said Surah Al-A'raf basically is the science of Iman. Here Surah Al-A'raf in a scientific way talking about Iman, all dimensions of Iman. And again we said the method being stated, highlighted at the beginning of the surah are 4 stages. 1, يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, reflect, think and ponder about the creation of Allah and His revelation. That is the first stage. The second, يَعْقِلُونَ, internalize and comprehensively understand. Not just how, but also why. That is يعقلون. And the third, that should lead you to believe. And the fourth is going to make you firm in your belief. So if you follow this method, يتفكرون, يعقلون, يؤمنون, يوقنون, this is what is required. But it should be starting with يتفكرون. Look to what is around you, understand how does it function, and look for reasons and answer the question why it does that way. And then from there, that is going to lead you to comprehensively understand it. And once you understand things, then you are going to believe in them. Once you believe in them, the more you reflect, the more you understand, the more your iman will be fortified and become strong to the point where you become having certainty. So this is what the surah is, and all what is left is just examples of how you pick up a phenomenon. That's it. All this mentioned in the Quran, you can call them phenomena. What is phenomena?
Phenomena are just different, like examples of different like ayat, things happening, things you see.
Right, like thunder and lightning. This is a phenomenon. Yeah. It is occurring all the time. It is unusual. It is beyond our ability to comprehend and control. So think about it. Those phenomena, there are too many. Pick up one and start thinking about it. Deeply understand it, comprehensively. And how does it do it and why? And that is going to lead you to Iman. And the more you study of this phenomenon, you are going to gain certainty. Okay? Is that clear? That's the summary of Surah Al-A'raf. Now we are only taking examples, and we went through some examples. Last time we already went through 11, verse 11 and 13. Right? Did you go 13?
Well, we didn't really complete.
Not 13. Okay.
Stuff on 11.
Yeah.
Recall.
All right. So just to little bit complete some discussion about the verse 11. 11 is a deep and endless discussion. But we'll start with, has in it issues. The first one is له معقبات من بين يديه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appoints angels to be with you the minute you are born. And this is authentic hadith, that the minute you are born, one shaitan will be appointed to you. One. But maybe minimum of 20 angels. And that is shaitan called qareen. Everyone, the minute he's born, male or female, a shaitan will be appointed to be in charge of him, misleading him, and just do their best to take them astray. But at the same time, there will be at least 20 angels to take you to the right way and to protect you. And you can tell if among these 20 angels you picked up with the shaitan, then something wrong with you. 20 good ones around you and helping you and guiding you and protecting you. And one, that is all, every single human being. Because هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ, Allah will send, just will appoint one shaitan to be with you. But during your life, you might qualify for more than that shaitan. You might acquire one or two or three. And that is depends on your behaviors. And we said one time in the khutbah, Allah said, وَمَنْ يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ نُقَيِّضْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ. If you stay away from the Quran, Allah will appoint additional shaitan with you. So you already have one at birth, but if you stayed away from the Quran, Allah said, will hire and appoint an additional one to be another qareen. So you get two shaitan. One of them because you abandoned the Quran, and one it was given at birth. And this new one, as Allah said, وَإِنَّهُمْ لَيَصُدُّونَهُمْ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ. First of all, qareen never let you alone, always with you, no matter what. That's what's qareen. Qareen means just like these two eyes, they never separated. They are always together. They are paired eternally, permanently. There is no way you can separate them. That is what's qareen. They never let you alone, anywhere, anytime, all the time. And then, what is this additional shaitan will do? As Allah said, يَصُدُّونَهُمْ عَنِ السَّبِيلِ. Sabil is the path. And whenever you try to go that straight path, he has ways and means and tricks to take you sideway. Say you're going to go to the masjid, we'll come and tell you, oh, you are tired, it is Sunday, maybe you spend this with your family, maybe you can watch TV, maybe there is something good. He's not going to force, but he has a ways and tricks just to take you sideway instead of going it straight. That is additions. And to the point where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. He is taking you sideway, though you believe and you think you are guided, you are on the straight path. Because I pray and I read Quran, and yesterday I was in the masjid and I did this, so I am really good. Though he is taking you, and you are unconsciously drifting aside of the way. Okay, now let's go back. This is qareen. So, those 20, I'm going to mention to you, there are many hadith, but let's one hadith. What are these 20 angels? What they do and what are they? We said one is, okay, well, the hadith said there is one on the right and one to the left. They're writing, one of them to write the bad deed, one of them to write the good deed. That's two. Now, there are two ahead of you, two on your back, just to guard you and protect you. من خلفك ويقول معقبات. These are two and two and one. How many? 5. One is in charge of your forehead, because this is something so precious to Allah when you prostrate and bow with it. And also you make decisions. As we know, this front part of the brain called nasiyah, forehead, forelock, is the decision makers. All the information come from the senses and go process through the brain and come to here, and this one decide. You gonna pray or no? I'll make istighfar or no? I'll commit sin, no? So this is something precious, has a special angel to guard. That's number 6. And the main observation of these angels is, when you humble yourself, he raises your rank with Allah. When you raise yourself and become arrogant, he lower your ranks. Okay, this time you are an A, now you're becoming a little bit conceited and arrogant. Okay, now your grade only C. So that is his job, to raise your grade and to lower it. Depends on how you submit and humble yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is, he's in charge of this. وَمَلَكَانِ عَلَى شِفَتَيْكَ. There are 2 in charge of your mouth. They write only one thing: Salah on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever that's their job. They do nothing. Whenever you say اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد, that's what they write. Other things someone else will write them. And then يحفظان إلا الصلاة على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وملك قائم على فيك. Another angel is in charge of your mouth, to guard it from anything to get into it when it is open where you are asleep. Insects or ants or all this crazy thing around you, they are guarding, so none of them is going to go into your mouth or your nose. Though they are open, you don't like, eyes is closed, but this is open, this is open, this is open. These are in charge of guarding those opens and let nothing out of the creation of Allah to get in there. And same thing for the eyes, 2. So these are 10, and these 10 are shift. A crew of 10 for the day and a crew of 10 for the night. They are totally different. So total you get 20 minimum. There might be more. You might earn some more. These are also mu'aqibat. These are protecting you, appointed to help you and to guard you. And as we said, only among these, only one shaitan. That is his job, to lead you astray. So this is the first part of it. له معقبات من بين يديه ومن خلفه يحفظونه من أمر الله. Now the second issue, إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Last time also we discussed this one. Conditions that you are living in are not going to change until you change your attitude and understanding about them. So whatever, say, conditions, poverty, drought, Allah will keep this ummah in drought forever unless they think of, on their own, of solution and start doing something. Then Allah will help them to complete it. But if they stay the way they are, we get to customize our living to live with it. Drought means drought, and we are accepting this condition to live with it. Allah will keep it the way it is. And whatever suffering you go through, you are blamed for, because it is a challenge for you to use, as we said, the faculty Allah has given you and the means Allah stored in this universe to change these bad conditions. It's your responsibility to initiate, and Allah will help and assist. So that is لا يغير ما بقوم حتى. It is the other way around. If you are in good conditions, Allah will keep these good conditions until you start changing them. And this is something we don't notice. We do something good for a while and then we get tired of it. Say we used to come to the class all the time, and then after a little bit, okay, well, it's a little bit boring and maybe I do something else. If I take a break, it will be all right. So you have a change. Yourself have taken the decision to change. And so Allah will change, will take part of the iman, part of the strength, part of the protection away because you changed. It's not Allah take it away because of nothing. So, the example that we know, when the Muslims went to the Battle of Uhud, and they were limited in numbers, and Quraysh already was taking the all good places in Uhud, and Muslims were surprised by their coming to that close area to Medina without knowing them. So basically the Prophet has to put a strategy that will enable them to win, though with all these limitations around it. And one of the strategy is what? He selected 20 of them. They are arrow shooters to stay in that little hill and to protect their back. Because it is open field. And the mountain is taken. So and the enemy, big numbers. They can stay in front of you, fight, and send some of their contingent division to turn around and attack you. So the Prophet said, if we can protect ourselves from them turning around from behind the mountain, or also that mountain behind them is our way back to Medina. So at least we need to secure, if we have to run away, if we have to withdraw, at least our road is not being cut, so we can go back to Medina. So he appointed this one in that mountain. Your job is here to protect our back and to make sure our road back to Medina, in case we have to withdraw, is secured. Alright? So they were at the beginning, as Allah said in Surah Al Imran, by this good strategy, we are going to fight. And we are brave and we have taken all the measures to win. But in case, that's what is it, keep hoping for the best, but prepare for the worst. In case we lost the battle, we make sure that our route to Medina is secure. That's your job. So the beginning, the kuffar was defeating, and they will start withdrawing toward Mecca. And the Muslims who are on the fighting, they were pushing after them until they were far away from the battle. From the battlefield, far away, almost behind the mountain of Uhud. So those people sitting there on the mountain of this shooter, arrow shooter, so what we are doing here? Our brothers down there, and they are winning, and they are so and so. Well, where there is no point for us to stay. And so they have what? They have dispute about this. And some say, it's over. Let's go and help our brothers. And some say, no, we have to stay here. Because we are appointed to stay here, we stay here. And actually the Prophet made it clear to them. Whatever you see us going through, don't move from your place. If you see the bird eating our flesh, don't move from the mountain. Well, they say, well, we see them winning, not defeated. So we better go. So they have dispute. And 8 of them said, I think, to their Amir. The Amir said, you have to stay. Have appointed Amir on them. And the 8 of them said, no, I think you are wrong. And we are sitting here doing nothing. The enemy is already far away, and we get to go and help our brothers. So they insisted on disobeying their leaders. And they just took their arms and went down to the field to fight. And so the Khalid ibn al-Walid was not a Muslim. And the army was big of Abu Sufyan, 3,000. So he has his just what you call ihtiyat, reserve unit.
It's like cavalry.
Okay? It's just sitting there. They are doing nothing. Just watching. And Abu Sufyan and others, they are fighting and they are this. And Khalid ibn Walid with his reserve unit sitting just behind the mountain. Then he saw what is happening on that little hill, and so Muslims moving down to the valley. Then he took his army, his unit, and went behind came first to the what is left, 12, with their Amir, killed them all, and took over the hill. So the Muslims turn around, they see the enemy behind them. Look forward, they see the enemy behind them. Even if we want to go back to Medina, the road is cut. We can't. Khalid ibn Walid, the real leaders, and the fighter is here, is to cut us from Medina. And that's what happened to them. They lost the battle. They didn't lose the war, but they lost the battle. Okay? So, Allah has told him, Allah did not change your victory to defeat until you changed. It was victory, and you changed within yourself, and you divided yourself and fought with your Amir. So Allah has taken the victory away and bring defeat to you. So that is Inna Allah la yughayyiru means, you get to understand the order of Allah. You have to be committed to it. Even it seems to mean nonsense. That's how some of them, it appears to them is nonsense to sit here. What are we doing? They're telling the Amir, they are not, means they are portraying or they are not a believers. No, they just use their brain where there is clear statement. And there is Amir, said, we get to stay. They say, we are wrong. They told him, you are wrong. You have no point, you have no reason for us to stay here, let's go. So once you have it changed what is in you, Iman and obedience. The Prophet said so and the Amir said so, you better stay there. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you, but still, you get to stick with it. So that is, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. But at the same time, the ayah says, if Allah wants to punish someone, there is nothing can stop it. Overall, the order is the order of Allah. If Allah wants, something is going to happen no matter what you do. فَلَا مَرَدَّ لَهُ. طيب, so that is what I want to clarify more from last week. Brother Umar, can you 11.
Bismillah. Bismillah. For him or her, each person, there are angels in succession, before and behind them. They guard them by the command of Allah Ta'ala. Verily Allah will not change the good condition of a people as long as they do not change their state of goodness themselves by avoiding committing sins and by being ungrateful and disobedient to Allah. But when Allah wills a people's punishment, there can be no turning back of it, and they will find besides Allah no protector.
Yeah, the key point is the good things will be changed when you become ungrateful to it. There are good things around you. When you become ungrateful to it, Allah will take it away. Whether in health, in family, in peace, and all good, you are good in Salah, and Quran, family at home, and harmony, kids righteous. All these good things, Allah will change them the minute you become ungrateful to. And many of these, basically we don't consider it as a bounty from Allah that we must be grateful. And this is authentic saying that the blessings of Allah imminently will be taken away the minute you become ungrateful to them. And the other statement said, to preserve those blessings, the only way you have is to be grateful to them all the time and not to commit sin. إِذَا كُنْتَ فِي نِعْمَةٍ فَرْعَهَا. If you have a bounty and blessings, protect it. فإن المعاصي تزيل النعم. Sinning will take this bounty away. وداوم عليها بشكر الإله. Continue to be grateful to Allah. فإن الإله سريع النقم. Allah might send revenge on you when He gives you and you are ungrateful to. Say that again.
The more you stay away from the Quran, the more you forget.
Yes. Quran is more than ni'mah. Quran also guidance. But say the sight, the health, the security, the job, the income, all of these are bounties, but they are not guidance. Quran more than bounty. Quran is a protection and guidance. If you stay away from it, it's not just a bounty is going to be taken away. No, you are going to be led astray and you are going to qualify earning additional shaitan as a companion for you. نُقَيِّضْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ. Additional companions is going to be, that is how Allah stated. That is the Quran in Surah Al-Zukhruf. Okay, now let's go to the verse 13. هو الذي يريكم البرق خوفا وطمعا وينشئ السحاب الثقال ويسبح الرعد بحمده والملائكة من خيفته ويرسل الصواعق فيصيب بها من يشاء وهم يجادلون في الله وهو شديد المحال. This story, there are many stories related to this. I'll just mention one. Let's listen to the English translation.
This is verse 12 and 13, inshallah.
Yes.
It is Allah who shows you the lightning as a fear for the travelers and as a hope for those who wait for the rain. And it is Allah who brings up or originates the clouds heavy with water. And Raad, or thunder, glorifies and praises Allah. And so do the malaika, the angels, because of His awe. Allah sends the thunderbolts, and therewith Allah strikes whom Allah wills. Yet they, the disbelievers, dispute about Allah Ta'ala, and it is Allah, and Allah is mighty in strength and severe in punishment.
Let's start with the story that many hadith said. The meaning is one, that there was a tyrant, an Arab tyrant, close to Medina. So the Prophet ﷺ sent him a group of Sahaba to invite him to the deen. So once they arrived and started talking to him, he said this to them: أخبرني من أي شيء ربك يا محمد. Tell me, what is your Lord made of? Is it lu'lu', pearl, yaqut? Is it copper? It is gold? Is it silver? What was it made, your God? So the Sahaba were unhappy about his questions, and they have no answers. And they decided not to keep discussing with him, so they left and went back to the Prophet ﷺ. So the Prophet ﷺ told them, go back and invite him to Allah. So they went for the second time and started inviting him. He repeated the same thing. What was it made of? And he said the second time, أجيب محمدا إلى رب لا يعرفه. He's telling them, you want me to respond positively to Muhammad about a Lord that he doesn't know who is he. Okay, that is his statement. You want me to answer you to something that you don't know. قال أجيب محمدا إلى رب لا يبعثه. So they stopped talking to him and they went back to the Prophet and they told him this is what he said. He told them, go back and invite him. So they went to a third time and invited him. he started to repeat the questions, and the lightning come and burnt him in front of them. So they went back to the Prophet. While they are still at the skirt of Medina, some Sahaba met them, and he telling them, your man been burnt by the thunder, by the lightning. These people said, how do you know? He said, Allah has revealed to the Prophet this verse, that this man has been taken by the lightning. And so well, listen to the translation, and then we'll again.
It is Allah who shows you the lightning as a fear for the travelers and as a hope for those who wait for the rain. And it is Allah who brings up or originates the clouds heavy with rain. Watcher. Raad, the thunder glorifies and praises Allah Ta'ala, and so do the malaika, the angels, because of His awe. Allah sends the thunderbolts, and therewith Allah strikes whom He wills. Yet they, the disbelievers, dispute about Allah Ta'ala, and it is Allah is mighty in strength and severe in punishment.
The second story related to this, someone we know, his name Amir ibn Tufayl. This was what do you know about him?
This is the little that I've heard that this one, I think. I didn't hear the first one.
What is it?
Go ahead, Sheikh.
Okay, let me listen. Good?
No, I don't know it very well. Go ahead.
Amir ibn Tufayl is one of the leaders of Arabs, and he was a wise man, considered as his weight through the society. One time he decided to visit the Prophet ﷺ in Medina with another person with him called Arbad ibn Rabi'ah. This is Arbad, his companions, was the most handsome person, but also he doesn't have one eye, though he is just the most handsome person. But they have planned among themselves, we'll go to Medina and argue with the Prophet for deals and so on and so forth, and if we can take him separately from his companions. This Rabi'ah, he just wants to kill the Prophet, and he told At-Tufayl, you be my trick, because they trust you, and we'll take him away from the Sahaba, and then once we are away, I will take my sword and chop his head. So they came, and the Sahaba told the Prophet ﷺ, here this man, At-Tufayl we know, but the other guy we know he's one of the worst enemies of us. Prophet said, let him come in, don't worry about it. Sahaba became furious and apprehensive for this enemy, what he wants. So Prophet said, let him come in. So they come to the Prophet ﷺ, دعه فإن يريد الله خيرا يهديه. Let him come in, I'll talk to him. If Allah wants good to him, he might be guided. At-Tufayl and this Rabi'ah saying to the Prophet, will believe, but what you are going to, from now, sign a contract, that's what we are going to get. When you die, we will become the king of the Arabia. He said, no. When you die, your followers take the urban and will take the suburb. Say, no. I'm basically negotiating with him, something like that, that we will believe in you, but give us something for our own. And so, what the argument talked, some of them said, can I talk to you on the side? He said, yes. So the Prophet left the Sahaba and went with them in a little bit remote by themselves. And he telling Rabi'ah, keep him busy. And he put his hand and grabbed, they said, 1 foot of his sword up. And then his hands paralyzed. Couldn't even move it to go back or right at all. And so the Prophet realized what is their plan. They are not going to discuss something. They were just really trying to find a way to kill him. But Allah has protect him that way. So once they started leaving, they decided we can't do it, and they realized, oh, we made a mistake. Maybe we can do it some other time and create another tricks. And Prophet let them go. But they were discussing how we can try again in a good way. And when we were succeeded, then the thunder came, the lightning came and burned them with this Rabi'ah. Because they were given the first time, they were never punished, and the Prophet said, let them go. But while they were going, they spent the night in a house of Medina belonged to Abdullah ibn Ubay. And they were discussing with Abdullah ibn Ubay better trick to come back again and to do this way in the right way. So they get up in the morning, set on their animals to leave, and the lightning came and took them. So that is basically, if you go that far, Allah will not give you a chance to breathe. If you go that far in challenging Allah and His messengers, is not going to delay your punishment until the day of judgment. You are going to get it right away. This is the two hadith that's related to this. Now, هو الذي يريكم البرق خوفا وطمعا, as the translation said, lightning. We are not going to go into the science, because this is one of the, as we said, one of the phenomena, one of the sign of Allah. Has in it signs to lead you to believe for certainty that is Allah. Simple example, you see some of these birds, they fly high, and sometimes they fold their wings, but they stay in the air. And the reason is, some of these birds, Allah has given them hollow bones. They are strong, but they contain air in them. So even if their wings are not doing anything, either flat, not moving like that, or even if they fall, they still can fly. In addition to their bones, there is a big pocket of air under their throat. And that keeps them floating even without wings. And so the cloud has the same idea. Huge, carry heavy, but because of the air pockets everywhere, the air can carry it. Though it is, as Allah said, some clouds heavier than mountains. Mountains, Jibal. It is the same way. You have this big ship on the ocean. It's made of materials that must sink. The big ship, say the carriers of the, it is made of metal. And the metal always should be sinking in the water, never float. But because of the design and the pockets of the air they make it, it can be carried by the water. Well, the clouds had the same idea. It is, as Allah said, as big and as huge and heavy like mountains, but the design of the airs among it and pockets of air everywhere, carried easily by the wind and the air. Now, also the seed of any cloud is something coming from the earth. Any cloud will be formed there by a seed that comes from the ground. And that seed is a charge, electrical charge, either positive or negative. Because the sun caused the surfaces on the earth to emit electrical charge. And those charges go to certain and stand there and then start attracting the opposite. So if it is negative, it's going to attract all the positive and build up until it's become huge. But it's huge of what? Of voltage. And it is all positive. And the other one is negative. And at a certain distance, what happens? If you have a big Well, if you have the battery of the car and you bring the pole together, what happens?
Spark.
Okay, that's the lightning. Basically, that's what is it. Here, huge voltage of negative, and here, huge voltage of positive, and in a certain distance, they charge. The sound we hear is just basically the electric charge moving from one cloud to other cloud, going through the air and burning the air. That is what you... And sometimes it charged with the earth. The cloud come close to the earth, certain place, and some surfaces of the earth is charged. You know statics? Sometimes you touch something and it's... Well, there are a lot of statics on the ground, on the earth, on surfaces, and especially sharp edges, antennas, corners, metal things. They are full of charge. So if it comes to a certain place from the cloud, when it is the opposite, will discharge to that, and that's how the thunder come to the bus, to the house, to somebody's, because they are just like ground wire. So all the charge will go through them. So that is هو الذي يريكم البرق خوفا وطمعا وينشئ السحاب الثقال. ينشئ, read the translation. Build the heaviest cloud.
And it is Allah who shows you the lightning as a fear for travelers and as a hope for those who wait for the rain. And it is Allah who brings up or originates the clouds.
Originate the clouds. But he said the cloud, it's supposed to be thiqal, the heavy one.
Heavy with rain.
Right. No, he didn't say heavy?
That comes after he originates. That false translation.
Okay. Yeah, it has to be. He's the one who originates the heaviest cloud. الثقال. ويسبح الرعد بحمده. Now all the creations of Allah make tasbih. And we have to understand, tasbih is the most desired surface and worship and dhikr to Allah. Allah loves tasbih from all His creations more than anything else. And everything we do, it is a form of tasbih. Right? What do you, when you bow, what do you say? When you make ruku', what do you say? When you make sujood, what do you say? When you finish salah, what do you say? Subhanallah, 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 subhanallah. Okay. So, and Allah said all His creations made to make tasbih to Allah. And the angels, the best worship of them is to make tasbih to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
But Shaykh, what is the biggest tasbih? Allah.
Hold it. So يسبح الرعد بحمده. Now, when you make tasbih, why? What is the motive?
The joint of our 360, you pay the price. That's what I heard.
صح. But why you say subhanallah? Why? Do you mean anything or no?
Yeah, we mean it.
Huh? What do you mean?
Allah is great.
What do you mean?
You recognize how awesome Allah is?
See, the word said bihamdih. Tasbih means glory to Him. What is bihamdih? You say, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim is wa bihamdih. What is wa bihamdih?
Praise.
Huh?
The praise.
Gratitude. Thankfulness. Because something might be great, but you're not grateful to it. Right? There are a lot of great things, but you are not grateful to. There are a lot of great men, but you are not grateful to. You understand this or no? Right. Means it's not enough you say He is great. That's not enough. The key point is, are you grateful to His greatness or not? Say, take example, because this is something really will make taste and flavor to our worship. Otherwise, I can go to a most sophisticated, magnificent place. I say, MashaAllah, this is great. But I'm not grateful to it because I don't have anything to do with it. Say you can say Mahal, Taj Mahal. Isn't it great? Something great work. But do I have a gratitude toward it, thankfulness? No, I don't care. It's something good, but I have no connection to it. I am not grateful to it. So tasbih by itself is not enough. Allah is, everything make tasbih to Him. But are you grateful to His glory or not? That's what does it mean. Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, glory to Him, and I am grateful to His glory. But if not, then your tasbih doesn't mean anything. Why? Because glory, because everything He did is perfect. And I got more than my share of it. I got more than my share of it without qualification, so I say bihamdih, I'm grateful to Him. I see His glory, His perfection everywhere. And I say subhanallah. But I am at the same time grateful to Him because I got from this glory more than my share and more than what I deserve. This is the only where ruku' is going to make a difference between you and Allah. If you have this concept and you mean this, it's not enough subhanallah. Give me something really fascinating, work of art or building or architecture, like what? You look to Eiffel Tower. It's something great, right? But I'm not grateful to it, nor to the one who built it. I don't care, because I am not part of it. I'm not connected to it.
No benefit.
No benefit to me. I'm not.
You know, Sheikh, when you see 747 in the air.
Or for some example, you see 747 in the air. This is great, and the people who did it really great. But I'm not grateful to them because it's not mine.
I say subhanallah because it's Allah who gives.
Well, but also that is what we need to know here. It is once you make tasbih, why? Because He is great, He doesn't need you to praise Him because He is great without you.
Yes.
No, I am taking this expression of His greatness to express my gratitude. I'm part of His greatness. I'm part of that. And so this is something really you have to think about it when you make salah. Otherwise the salah, it doesn't mean anything. Really. If you sit and watch a good player and you say, MashaAllah, what a great trick. But it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. And he is not accepting it. No, he is my relatives. Or I get something, I am part of it. All this kingdom of Allah, you are, as we said, you are what? You are not just part of it. What we said last time, you are the center of it. Right? Remember last time? We said Allah has honored you with what? 8, 9, 10 things. Do you remember them? No? Oh my God. At least, but there are unlimited numbers of honor that given to you. One, we said, He created you from clay. By His hand. He could have said be and it will be. And then He breathed in you soul from Him. And then third, He erected you. And we remember this? This is one of the phenomena, one of the miracles of Allah. You stand on two, balanced, powerful. Where does this power come and